What is going on, guys? It's Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News, the only live call-in show somewhere. Today, we're going to be talking about Japan warning over an NK launch right over them. We're also going to be talking about the Suez Canal, however you want to say it, being blocked. Is there a possibility that this is a setup for a Fantastic Freddy? If you don't know what that means, stick around. Nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on my team, including my mods. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. Man. All right, what is going on? My name is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Lots to talk about today, so we're going to go right into it after we introduce Dex and show you how you can follow along. Dex, how are you doing tonight, and what's going on?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So if you've never been here before, you can actually follow along on marfooglenews.com. We make sure before the start of every single show, we put together everything that we have put together for the show right in one place. So you have a bibliography and a source for all of our news. In fact, if you go to our website right now, in fact, I haven't even refreshed, you will see the newest thumbnail. This Fantastic Freddy waiting to happen. MFN, of course, that's a picture of the Suez Canal. And then you'll see Head on a Swivel. So you click that, and very easily you can go down and see every single article that we have shown you here today. And on top of that, at the very bottom, you will have the callers. If you do want to call in, I would suggest getting in early. The number is scrolling right down below, 224400MARF. If you have inside information or something that you can share and not get in trouble for it, let us know. Give us a call. Again, that is definitely a great thing to have there. And then on top of that, on the website, remember you can always search in the corner. If you're watching 4 months down the road and you want to reference an old article or something, up in the corner there's a search bar. You can search any of the articles we've covered here over the last basically 2 years. So remember that. And then down at the bottom is web-only content. That is stuff that is too hot for TV, stuff that we want to report, just can't. And again, everybody kind of knows what's going on right now as far as media and freedom of press. So you understand that, and you can go over there. If you want to support us on the right side, you can go to our PayPal or any of the other ways of supporting, like affiliates. EMP Sales doing the best sale they've had in a year. So if you want to go over and support that, you can as well. So without further ado, let's get started. Scientists arrive at potentially new force of nature during Large Hadron Collider experiment. Despite the results of an ongoing LHC experiment being a statistical fluke, as a researcher dubbed them, the survey may cause the scientific community to drastically modify the existing long-proven edifice of how the universe functions. It says a long-term experiment at the Large Hadron Collider, which we've all talked about. Of course, if you don't know about the LHC, it is absolutely nuts. They've publicly said some things that are pretty freaking weird. Even the campus that they're on covers, I think, and Dex, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or anybody in the chat, I believe it goes over a border of two different cities or two different countries. The thing is so huge. They're also planning on building a bigger one. They make tiny black holes, or that's the goal of part of this. And then also they've said publicly that, they are, there's a possibility they could make time travel with this thing, or at least that's the goal of some of the previous scientists that have worked there, or a portal to another dimension. It all sounds like science fiction, but again, this is something that countries put a lot of money into. There's a lot of black projects that I believe that we have technology that is not, of course, told to the rest of the public. That is why I think that people up at the highest level think we're just sheep, because we are not. Knowledge is power. And honestly, the internet changed things in a lot of ways, because a lot of knowledge was going out, but a lot of BS was going out too. So with, every 10 things that are just unbelievably crazy that we're not supposed to know that we do find out, they throw out 100 things that are false just to confuse us. Because it's harder to find a needle in a haystack, but it's also way harder to find a needle in a bunch of needles. So again, remember that. It says, despite the results of the ongoing LHC experiment being a statistical fluke, it says a long-term experiment at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, Switzerland, by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, has been looking for the beauty quark. It says a subatomic particle that breaks down into even more minute particles in an uneven fashion. The conclusion contradicts existing fundamental theory about the buildup of the universe, which means that it should prove true. Then there is potentially a new force of nature, which is pretty nuts. It says, according to Dr. Mitesh Patel at the Imperial College of London, who worked on the research. Now, whether you believe it or not, things like this is like, if they conclude that it's a fact, that is something that's going to go out to the public, right? That is something that is going to be accepted fact. And this is something that would change the way we think of, everything. I mean, that is the crazy part here is there are so many discoveries happening, not just in this field, but other fields that are changing the way that humans kind of look at that top tier of technology. We always look at things in the reference to what our top technology is. We don't reference past that because we don't know it exists yet. We just don't have a frame of reference. There's nothing there. There's no memory. There's nothing to learn. There's nothing that you could have learned in school because it didn't exist yet. So you can imagine, and for those that think, there's other advanced civilizations out there that are farther along, they could have technology that goes against all of our physics and, against everything that we think is true because we only know what we know, and that's about it. It says the standard model encompasses all of the known elementary particles and the four forces that operate them, namely gravitational, electromagnetic interaction, which comes as both strong and weak interactions, which function solely at a subatomic level. However, the standard model has turned out to have a number of major gaps and drawbacks, despite being an important stepping stone to a more profound perception of physical reality. Understand that this might be a little technical, but what they're talking about is changing physical reality and how we look at it, which opens the doors. So a discovery like this could open the door to a million other things. Dex, if you're around and want to say anything about this, please go about that right now. And then I'm also going to pull up. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Today's show is brought to you by NordVPN. If you guys want to go over and check that out, go to marfugelnews.com. Just remember that you can use the code Marfugel for 70% off. And then I'm going to pop over to the chat. What do you think about this as far as CERN? Do you trust CERN? And do you trust anything that comes out of it? And the easy answer is no. But, what are they doing there? What are they truly looking for in all of this? It looks like we have Barefoot Lass, Marfoo's Gold. We've got Bear Claws, Jammer 1, Ballistic, My Mystic, Bones, Free Life Tass. We have, of course, Irish Native, Johnny Doom, Lisa R. Hall, reporting to duty, Jolanta Malik. We've got Joan of Arc, Bear Claws. Yeah, lots of no's. It says, Bam Benedict, hello, everybody. And then, of course, lots and lots of no's. So not too many people trust CERN. You know what's even funnier is I did a community post, and over 5,000 people voted. I gave 3 options. First option was, basically the question was, how much do you trust mainstream media? It basically says, I trust independent media, I trust mainstream media, and I trust no one. And it was like 56% independent media, 44% I trust no one, and there was 0%. I don't even think that there was a vote on mainstream media. So not one single person out of 5,000 people. And you could say, oh, well, this is your audience. But again, that's 5,000 people voting on that subject, and not 1%, not even 1%. I actually should have checked if there was a single vote. I just saw 0%. So I don't even think it would have to be 1% if there was a few votes there, right? I don't know. I think the math is that it must have been like so little that it didn't register. So 0% trust mainstream media. And that is the literal times we are living in. So whatever they report from CERN or from any other place like this, not many people are going to actually believe, because our new generation and everybody now doesn't agree with anything that's being said. What's funny is they are mind melded and, brainwashed by what is being said, but they don't trust it. So that's funny, because people change their opinions based on what mainstream media says, but they don't trust it. I think that's an interesting thing to think about. Joe Adams, thank you. No, I don't trust them. Marfugal Effect, says Sean777. Northwest Olympics, good to see you. Nature's Bounty, Homestead. And then, of course, Alish is in the house. Nice to see you again. Bumpity, we've got Twisted Luck Truth. Laura Reedy, Aware One. I like how you spelled that. Aware One. Cernunos. CERN equals Cernunos, says Aware One. RJ Roll says, I would check it out myself. And then be the first to have a beer with Daryl. Bumpity. I don't know if you mean Daryl from The Walking Dead, because that's what the planet looks like it's going to be like. Lori Byington, thank you so much for your support already early in the show. Thank you for the super chat. Love you, Fugel fam. It's hard. It's a herd of sheeples in my life, and they hear nada. You all keep me sane. Adam and Dex, thank you for all your hard work. And Adam, take care of yourself. Thank you. It's me, Oma. Again, this is, we talk about stuff here, and we have an open mind, and we don't ever try to push people one way or the other. But it's like you can't talk about a lot of subjects at the water cooler anymore, because people, one, will judge you, two, think you're crazy, and three, they just won't hear it. They'll walk away, or they'll get pissed, or you'll get in trouble. You can't have any kind of creative expression or thought in public now. It's like you can't say what you actually think. You have to say what you think everybody wants to hear. That is what most people are doing. Even if you're somebody who's very vocal online, in real life, most people aren't going to speak up. Or if they hear something right behind somebody in the grocery store, they're not going to say something. They're not going to cause everybody to look at them and go against the grain. Or even the people that are kind of going against certain things, and, they get in trouble. Over in a couple countries, I thought I saw some hope there, and I think we'll add it to web-only content, but somebody was being arrested for not following a certain rule, and like 20 people ended up, doing the same offense, kind of like one of those, like the Billy Madison, where the kid pees his pants, and all the kids are laughing at him, and Billy Madison basically pees his pants, and everybody else pees their pants, and they're like, oh, it's the cool thing to do, to pee your pants. It was like that moment, and it was like a kind of like, I don't know. It gave me the warm fuzzies. I don't know if you saw that video, but man, it gives me hope. And then, of course, first image of a black hole gets a polarizing update that sheds light on magnetic fields. I think that it's funny that they put sheds light, again, of a picture of a black hole. How do you even get a picture of a black hole, Dex? I don't understand that. How could you get a picture of a void of light? I guess that would be just a dark, a black picture. Let's see. And it looks like the phones are going nuts. Okay, so I'm really glad. Just to let you know, we were having phone issues the last couple days, or the last couple of shows. So I'm really glad to see that people are calling in, and it's working now. Again, the number is 224-400-MARF. Make sure to check that out. The new polarized images mark important steps towards learning more about the gas near the black hole, and in turn, how the black holes grow and launch jets. It says Jason Dexter, assistant professor at the University of Colorado Boulder and coordinator of EHT Theory Working Group, told Space.com. To capture the black hole, the collaboration used 8 telescopes from around the world, combining their power to create a virtual Earth-sized telescope. It says the radio telescopes of the EHT have receivers that record the sky signal in polarized light. So it says also that these polarized receivers work in a way similar of that to polarized sunglasses that some people used. By showing the black hole in M87 through polarized light, the team got a better look at the object's event horizon, which is also known as the point of no return, because it's the point at which matter cannot get closer or can get closer to the black hole without being pulled in. They also were able to better study the interaction with the object's accretion disk, which is a disk of hot gas and other diffuse material that falls in towards a black hole and swirls around it. So one thing I don't understand is how we can see a black hole and this isn't a threat to us, because I thought black holes slowly basically consume everything and anything. I understand that it's millions and millions of or billions of light years away, but that's pretty crazy. And obviously it's not in our, it can't be in our solar system, I assume. So crazy stuff. It says astronomers have long thought that the magnetic fields carried by the hot gas near black holes play an important role in letting the gas fall in and launching relativistic, I think that's how they meant to say it, jets of energetic particles out into the surrounding galaxy. The polarized image we see tells us the structure and the strength of the magnetic fields very close to the black hole. So one thing that's fascinating about this is that we are taught, and this is just what we're told since we're little kids, is that black holes suck everything in. Where does it go? How does this even work? Is that a portal to another dimension? It's very fascinating stuff, and of course, this is thought of as fact that black holes exist in space, but we have no idea where any of it goes. So when you say something sounds crazy to say a theory about a sea animal or or a theory about a majestic creature in the forest, something like a Bigfoot, you say that that's crazy. But this is scientific fact, right? Yet we've nobody on planet Earth has really even seen one. And I guess now they're, coming up with a picture, but it's not actually even a picture. It's polarized light, and it's the combination of 8 different telescopes. It's basically what do you call it when you put together multiple pictures of something, and it's with all of this scientific mumbo jumbo. But we believe it as fact. And I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying I just think it's kind of hypocritical that most people and the general culture of people is to think, oh, that idea is crazy or that's crazy. Or people with, skills of kind of predicting things with their visions or dreams or whatever. That's crazy. But yet there's a black hole that sucks everything in, including light. It seems pretty nuts. Thank you. I truly love the content. Thank you, Bound by Mountains Rock, Nick Forever, and Brandon Leahy. Thank you so much for the super chat there. Thank you. What do you think? What do you think about all of this? Do you think that it is something that should be talked about? And then let's see here. Put that over there so we can see that's that. And we have Linda Way over on DLive Galt. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gone Girl 777 is here tonight. Thank you. I hope you're feeling better. May the Fugel Force be with us. Fuglers rule. And Lisa K23 says, hope Jesus comes before CERN opens more portals. I've even heard theories that CERN is the portal to Jesus. Absolutely crazy stuff there. Empress 46, thank you for the Ninja Guinea. Thank you for all you do, Adam Dex. Giant cargo ship still stuck in Suez Canal. Here's how it looks from space. So they actually have a satellite picture of this, which, in fact, I wish they had a color version. Otherwise, I would have used it for my thumbnail. But this is the Suez Canal. If you haven't seen kind of a top view of it, this thumbnail actually has it right there in it. It is pretty crazy stuff. As far as this photo, it actually shows the Ever Given, which I thought was like a typo. I thought that the people reporting it were typo because it says Evergreen on the side. I thought that they just saw that and thought that was the name of the ship. But the MV Ever Given is the ship that's stuck there. And what is even crazier, and Dex, I'm going to ask, I don't know if you can actually pull up a radar of the ships that are backed up, but my wife found one on Twitter, and it was a top-down view of all of the ships that are stopped. Now, what they say about this is that this is going to affect everything. This is going to affect the cost of everything. It's going to affect the delivery of things. It's going to affect gas prices. It's going to affect everything because this has, literally stopped everything in its tracks that are coming through the Suez Canal. This hasn't happened. I don't know if this has ever happened, actually. I don't know if this has happened in our lifetime. Maybe it has. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or down in a comment below. This is, it almost seems intentional. Like, how did they possibly do this? There's been a million ships. Not to mention, if you found out why it happened, they said that they had a ship-wide blackout. So all of the electricity in a ship like this that, I don't know, that just seems really odd to me that the entire ship went dark. This is a 1,200-foot ship. This is as tall as most skyscrapers. This is, you're talking about a skyscraper on the sea. And the whole thing went dark. It's really quite weird. Patty Morton says, Fantastic Freddy, for sure. Watch Wolf, yes. And if you don't know what Fantastic Freddy means, it's basically what Dixie Doe just said, a planned accident. Let's see. Gas prices go. Whoosh, yep. Hey, my wife is in here. Thank you. Love you, and I'm hoping the kids are being good for you. And thank you so much for being here almost every night too. Now, couldn't ask for a better wife. Slim Shady 76. Yeah, 80s were the best. Okay, that's a side convo. And yes, I don't think it's happened even in the 80s. They need an EMP shield. Actually. I heard that they most likely, a lot of these cargo ships are going to have one soon. Let's see here. Untrue flag. Yes, that's right. Toot. What is going on? Recall R. We've got 6-string Ronin. Mary Turnell. Kara K. What's going on? There is Marine Traffic app that will show you where all the registered vessels are live.
Yeah, I just gave you a screenshot for that, Adam. And on the bottom of the Suez Canal. It's in Screener if you want to see the screenshot.
Okay.
You can just go to marinetraffic.com and navigate your way over to northeastern Africa.
No, that's fine. I'd much rather just grab the link. Hold on. I actually didn't have my Screener open, so glad that you put it over there. Okay. By the way, Zippy Moons, thank you for going over to PayPal during the show. Here's to 140,000 subscribers. That's awesome. Thank you, Zippy Moons. I appreciate that. It's a big, they take more than we get usually. So thank you. It's a huge accomplishment. Survival Living CFP says, LOL, I didn't want the YouTube overloads to get a cut. LOL. Hey, thank you, Central Florida, aka Survival Living. And then Zippy Moon says, I'm always at the end of a phone. I'll talk or text. That's awesome. Thank you, and thank you for putting that out there. KZ, thank you. I appreciate you. And Cynthia C. Smile, it's not so bad. Not really. We do what we have to do to survive. Not just survive, but live. The beauty of the earth before the destruction begins, and it will begin. Chaos is coming. There is no way around it. That is creepy and true. Okay, so here's the link here. Let me load this up. Put it on this previous one since we're done with that. And remember, you can read all of these articles on marfugelnews.com, and Dex is going to add a link to this. Okay, this isn't actually as detailed as the one my wife found. In fact, Miss Murph, I wish we could find that picture. What was so crazy about it is that it had just thousands of little dots. I mean, there's nothing getting through. You cannot fit a single ship. So we'll figure that out. Dex, don't put too much attention to it. But if we could try to ask my wife where she got that, because it was, I mean, it's really shocking the amount of ships that are there that are stuck. So it says that the 1,312 foot, I thought it was 1,200 feet. That's even bigger. That's 100 feet. That's 10 stories taller than I thought it was, or about that. It says the 1,300 foot Ever Given cargo ship is still stuck in Egypt's Suez Canal despite refloating efforts. It says around a half a dozen tugboats remain crowded around the ship as they continue to work to free it. It says, while images show a bulldozer pushing land away from the ship Wednesday. The ship ran aground on Tuesday as an apparent result of the wind blocking traffic from the moving through the 120-mile canal, where around 12% of global trade passes through. It says authorities have now opened up another channel to allow some vessels to pass from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean. But there are concerns that the backup has caused the Ever Given could lead to shipping delays of up to at least a week. The price for Brent crude oil spiked more than 5% on Tuesday, believed in to be caused by this blockage. It also says, look at this. So this is so crazy. I probably shouldn't skip this. Look at this. So this is a picture of the Suez Canal. I don't know if that's a current one. So that's what it's supposed to look like when a big ship goes through, I believe. That's a huge cargo ship going through the Suez Canal, which is just nuts that you can see these ships from space. That's how big they are. Here is a true shot of it. So that was possibly before, and now that is the ship blocking the entire thing. This is like looking at a skyscraper that fell over on the ground. If anyone has ever been to the Suez Canal, I don't know how to say the damn thing, you would know how wide this is. I mean, this isn't a little tiny, thing. This is a giant river type thing. And then, or a canal. Sorry, people are going to get technical. It's not a river. A river consists of flowing water in one direction and okay. Look at that. Look at the size of this person compared to that ship. You throw a rock at that ship, and it's like throwing a rock at the side of a skyscraper. I mean, it's nuts. And then they have all of these tugboats, as many as they can, and they can't even budget. I wonder why, though. Why don't they have more tugboats, like 6?
Well, yeah, and here's the thing that gets me is this isn't the ship that did the problem, that caused the problem, right? It's supposed to be the way it works, especially when you go into ports, into different ports. There's a pilot, and the pilot gets on board the ship and actually navigates the port or the canal to get to where you're going when you get into land. It's not the captain of the ship. Now, I'm assuming, I don't know, I've never been through the Suez, but if they do this in little ports all over the world, they have a pilot get on and drive and navigate. I'm sure they use a pilot in the canal too, because they don't want rando captains going in and getting their ship sideways and cocked up on the walls of these expensive canals, right? They don't want this to happen. So this is a pilot who does this every day. It's not just a ship captain that happens to go through the canal every, 30 or 40 days when he's making his journeys, right? These are pilots that get on and go through over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't understand this. I actually don't get why why this is why this is like this. So let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I would also wonder if it lowered itself by some strange accident. If it took on water, it doesn't take much for it to then become too low in the water and then be stuck. We may not know when that, if we get any information about that.
Like it had a leak or somebody purposely poked a hole
something
in
may
it?
have happened. Exactly.
Now, are the rumors true that it was a ship-wide blackout? Do we know that?
Yeah, I do not know that, but I do know that that it just seemed odd when this happened. Like this isn't gonna that it should have been something you would think would be able to easily get fixed if the ship is buoyant, and if it's not, then that would be why you couldn't easily fix it. I mean, I get it; it ran aground on the side, but these canals are designed to hold that ship, so something strange is going on here.
I just don't see how this. And I don't see how this this lost it. I've seen many things say that it had a ship wide. They use that word to describe it. Let's see here. Ship wide.
Right there it says the management company denied the ship ever lost power.
That's what I'm saying. That's just weird. In the beginning, that's what was reported. It's like they changed their story.
And again, there's a pilot who doesn't necessarily work for, I'm assuming, there's a pilot that doesn't work for the company, that works for the canal, that gets on there and helps navigate those ships. That's his job. Because he knows every line of the canal. He knows every inch, and it's his responsibility. And they have to pay them. It's part of their tax to get through. It's sort of the same thing with a cruise ship when it comes into port, in the Bahamas. A pilot gets on, and the cruise ship has to pay many hundreds or thousands of dollars for that pilot to then drive the, quarter mile in to make sure that they navigate the right water and dock correctly.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, here we go. Look at this. Yeah, I just think it's absolutely nuts that this is happening. Here's what I think, though, too. This is a very, very crucial time. Now we also have military ships and different things that are going into the Suez Canal. I just wonder say if we had a military or a Navy ship go in there, and then this would be, the perfect opportunity for exactly the event we thought or that gentleman suggested to happen. To have, some sort of group or a ship that's painted like a certain ship go after another ship because they're sitting there like ducks, and then take it out. I mean, what do you see in all the movies when they try to take out a cash truck? Right? They have they rent a dump truck and then park it in front of it, and it stops traffic, and then they get out and they do all their stuff. Was this a setup so they could pirate ships or something? Like, what the heck?
Well, and I did some research on Evergreen. They're based out of Hong Kong. They also have ports in Taiwan and the UK. I don't know if Hong Kong is their home, but if it is, then that could mean that there's a strong China connection and or potential ownership of that company. I don't know. I'm not saying that for sure. But I do know that they have those three locations: Hong Kong, Taiwan, and UK.
Aha. The plot thickens. Well, on another note, if you want to protect yourself and you don't want to have a ship-wide outage, I would highly recommend an EMP shield. And we are getting quite serious about as far as telling people whether they go through us or not. I would highly recommend going, with a EMP shield in general. The cool thing about going through us is you not only get the $50 off that we've always had because we were one of their first affiliates and we're grandfathered in. You also get the current sale, which is probably the best sale since last Black Friday. This is a device from a company that is actually contracted with agencies like DHS, DOD, and of course, they are now on the DEMSO team helping the Texas grid. So remember, this can actually protect either your car, there's a different device for your home, your solar panels. This can actually protect it against all three phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3, and solar flares. So when we have our next Carrington event, which is a when, not an if, your devices, your car will be protected and you won't be stuck. The car version is their most popular version. Of course, you can go check that out at marfugelnews.com/EMP. This is a veteran-owned business. They are literally like a second family to them. I mean, like, honestly, these guys are amazing. They even do us Christmas videos. So check them out. Make sure to do so. We only support affiliates that we really and truly believe in will either help people or save lives. All right, let's get the phones cracking here in a second. Make sure to get over there if you want to call in 224-400-MARF. Barefoot lasts. No one is perfect. That's why pencils have erasers. That is right. But there's also pens. LG Gig, thank you so much for your support. And Linda Covington, Panama Canal, bad deal for USA, controlled by the Big C. And by the Big C, China. And then, of course, Lilitus 1212. Thank you for the Ninja Guinea. Says, love my Fugle fam. Thank you, Gone Girl. Seriously. Stormy7572. Gem. 100-inch pizza pie. Thank you for just following. Uber-based, thank you for following. All the new followers over on YouTube, I appreciate you. Loyal to the foil. And then Corp, Adam, this is the link. Oh, cool. Dex, I don't know if you saw it, but let me see if I can. Can you vet the link that was just dropped by Corp in DLive for the vessels? And then Gone Girl, thank you so much. Dixie Doe, Va Shadow, Bear Claws, Duckhawk, and of course Leo Walls. Thank you so much. Richard, thanks for following. Nice to welcome you to the Fugle fam. And then in a second, we'll talk about Japan issues a warning over an actual launch, missile launch from NK. We've talked about this before. We're going to talk about it again. Of course, now things are heating up once again. Let's see here. It looks like we have Ginger, TGS source, first-time caller. Let's get her on. Ginger, you are live.
Mark.
You're live on Marfugel News.
Hi, Fugle fam. Hi, Marfugel and Dex. I'm here with Tim from TGS Source.
Well, hey, nice to talk to you. And what's going on?
Well, we remember when you first started, our channel had a little more years on it, a little more legs, a little more reach. And boy, you were covering the Hawaii stuff. And our stuff was actually in Pahoa at that time. And we found you, fell in love. We put you up on the Tapestry of Truth wall. And here we are. Now we want to invite all of you up to Abba's Acres this summer.
To where? I'm sorry.
Abba's Acres. You got to go to the website. Oh, there they go. Look at that. And you guys are on Tapestry of Truth wall right there. See Tapestry of Truth? Push that button.
Oh, cool. So, again, I remember it was a long time ago, was it not? Or that we, that you
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So 3 years ago, it was when the whole Hawaii, isn't it kind of funny that it's going full circle? Just today, we are covering that NK is possibly launching over, Japan, and Japan is doing these warnings. Possibly, we might even see these kind of alerts go out again.
It's possible. It really is. And we showcase up there all kinds of other networks like yourself. Some of them you're familiar with, like Jacob Israel and BP Earthwatch. We've been with BP for a long time. And it's kind of like a hub. We're trying to connect as many people as possible. But really right now we're concentrating on connecting our Alaska network friends. So if you can help us with that, that'd be great. And this is really going to help, I think, because they haven't let us over 1,000 souls since we restarted the channel.
So you also have a YouTube channel, is that correct? You're saying
we
that...
do, and I think you can just push the button right there to get to it. But if you push the button that says, "I don't want to tell you how to run your show," you're doing so wonderful. We're
Oh, and
we're
you guys,
grateful for you.
You guys do the same thing. That's awesome. You push the YouTube button, and it gives you the option to subscribe right there. So, Dex, we should actually put that link there on the website, so then it goes straight to that. We have the same exact thing set up. So, this I would really, really appreciate everybody to go over it. So you're saying that they haven't let you get over 1,000, so that means you really won't be found in the algorithm because you're not monetized, right?
Yeah, and we haven't, and it's been great to be able to not have to monetize or anything like that. And but it really doesn't matter. They just continually take down the videos. So what we've been doing is putting them up on the website. So we've got a whole area there of blocked and banned videos that if people wanted to peruse different topics that the First Amendment says we can talk about, then certainly go and check it out. We've also got declassified documents, all kind of different stuff there.
Okay, so Fugle fam, we need to go over and support these guys, and they're obviously putting out a lot of information that is getting blocked. They aren't even past 1,000. Why it does matter though, and you've probably listened to me say this before. If you're not monetized on YouTube, they made a decision back in 2018 where they're not pushing channels that aren't monetized. In fact, now they even pushed it a step further where they're monetizing channels that aren't even monetized. So there's probably ads on your videos that you don't even know about because they have the right to do that. I see lots of great videos there. So thank you for calling in. And then again, it does matter because they want. Think about it. If you're a business, which video are you going to push? The one that you get 50% of all ad revenue, or the one that you're not? That's the decision they made.
It's really hurting the wonderful creators out there. So,
well, I hope that everybody gets you over there. And again, make sure to go over to TGS Source, and then we have the link for not only the website but now the channel. Will be added there, I'm sure. If it's not there yet, Dex will be updating it live on the show.
Well, that's wonderful, Marvin. Before you go, I know you got a busy show, but we want you to invite all of your network here because this gold mine is for everybody. Everybody who is fighting for truth or standing for truth is for everybody. As a matter of fact, we claim Katie Joe Willie. So, but yeah, everyone is invited. Sign up at the website. If you can't afford to pay, that's fine, but you got to be able to get here and you got to be able to do off grid.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look into it, of course. And then, of course, we have some other people in Alaska that we deal with too. So you're also saying to reach out to them and tell them about you guys. Is that right?
Oh, yes, because we want to be able to take more numbers in front of our local level employees.
Well, perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. And again, we will make sure to be sending people over your way. And thank you so much for featuring us on the wall. And again, thank you for being around this long.
You're very welcome there, Mark. This is Tim from TGS Source. Just want to say hi to the Marfugel fam. Love what you do. Dex, you're awesome, buddy. We so appreciate what you do for Mark. And just love y'all, man. Just love y'all. Stay safe and lift the Father up. That's all I got to say.
All right, y'all. Take care.
All right. Bless you. Amen. It is also my understanding that these guys put me on that wall before when I was really tiny. So they were helping me. So I would really appreciate if you guys return the favor. And that, that's not too much to ask. Again, we don't ask anybody to go out of their way to support us. We most of the time ask people to support others. We've got Linda Covington, Panama Canal, bad deal. Yes, of course. And then Michael De La Roca says you are Marfu Gold. Love you guys. There's actually, we're not Marfu Gold. There's an actual Marfu Gold screen name in chat right now, I think. And then JW TV, what it says, when do you want to collab, Marf? I shared the video on my community share. My last one, everyone will appreciate it. JW TV show. Make sure to go check him out. We've just been really busy. We have a lot of collaborations that we want to do. We haven't even collabed with, BP or Jacob Israel lately, or all of these great people that are, kind of that we've dealt with before and are great people. So I will definitely, we need your information though. Please email Dex at marfugelnews.com. My box is so full. I cannot get that. And I would possibly do it in the, before the show is over so we can see it. And then Michael De La Roca, again, thank you so much for the generous super chat there. Lori D, Fugel Fam Rocks, and Free Life Tass. The ship should have had an EMP. Susan Donahue, hey, nice to see you. It says, Adam Dex, Fugel Fam, much love with gratitude. If I were a betting woman, my money would be on hashtag Team Humanity. Susan, it is so nice to see you. Brandon Laity, it's nice to see you as well. But Susan, I hope you are doing well, and I hope that you're having a great time. So Japan issues this warning over NK, and this is full circle because I started my channel talking about the Hawaiian false missile alert, where people, of course, were throwing their children into actual manholes, down sewers, throwing their children, thinking that, somehow that's going to help against a nuke. I can only imagine if that nuke was, actually hit, what that would do to those kids, because think about it, that's not going to save those kids. In fact, that would put them into a watery, gross, sick tomb, if you guys know what I mean. Like, a sewer is not going to protect you against pretty much anything. In fact, I think the road would crumble and, yeah. But that's the absurdity of what people thought. You're on an island, you can't go anywhere. you've got a matter of minutes, and you are now told that there is a nuke headed toward the island. It sounds like out of a Twilight Zone video, but it's not. It was real life in 2017. It was real life. I believe it was 17. It might have been 18. I want to say it was January. Is that the most crazy thing you've ever heard? It happened. People were told by their cell phones. Imagine a sea of cell phones. Say you're in Hawaii, you're a tourist, and you're in the lobby of some fancy, beautiful hotel with palm trees everywhere and concierge, and everybody's fancy, and you're just having the time of your life. And then everyone's cell phone in the lobby goes beep, 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 beep. And in that moment, you realize that it's not a drill, that it is an absolute real launch. Where do you go? You can't go anywhere. You're stuck on an island. And the island is just big enough to where it doesn't matter where you go on it. It doesn't matter if you go underground. It doesn't matter if you throw your kids in a sewer hole like people did. You're done. People robbed people. People grabbed, punched people off their motorcycles, took their motorcycles like out of a Bond movie or GTA, and took off. All to find out a few minutes later, and it was a whole like 35 or something minutes, that it was fake, that it was a false alert. Meanwhile, people out in the water said that they saw flashes and they saw what was an asteroid. Put that together, then they ended up interviewing on the KHON, KHON2. It showed a snippet, and then it cut off. That was passed to me, and then basically that is what started my channel. Now, people like Maui Racing Realtor have called in and said that they know the logistics of the island. They don't think that would be possible, or they don't think that there would be companies like that. But again, the confirmation was in the amount of people. In fact, there was enough confirmation in the comments from people that saw it that basically, I think it was Dr. Michael Salla did a paper, and a couple other people did, and it was 50 videos later, a bunch of people covered it. And it wasn't my statement or the statement that we made. It was everyone in the comments saying that they saw that. They even took it a step further. They knew exactly what commercial it cut to on KHON 2 when they're interviewing these people from the boat, saying there was something out there at 8 a.m., blah, blah, blah. It was a big flash. And then boom, it cut to like a Pizza Hut commercial or something. So very freaky stuff was going on there. Then, of course, my personal thoughts, and this is my opinion, is that was some sort of cover-up. And I have a reason why I think that. Why did they say, they pushed the wrong button? Then why did they change it to, it's a drop-down menu? Then why did they make everybody in that office look like a bunch of dummies sitting on their phones? In the official investigation, they said it was a drop-down with confirmation, drop-down with confirmation, drop-down with confirmation. And instead of, it was an accident, no, they thought it was real. And that's why they did it. So they changed their story several times in the first couple weeks, and people wanted heads to roll. It was so... it affected the country, it affected the state so much, the people that were there during that event, that people like Jim Carrey, famous celebrity now, just Jim Carrey, wrote an actual book about how it changed his life. He said, I thought I was going to die, and it truly changed my life to the point where he flipped a switch or something. What would you do if you found out you had 30 minutes to live? Put it in the chat below, or write me a comment. What would you do if you had 30 minutes to live? That is pretty freaky. Sam Yo, thank you. Geisy, Scooby-Doo-Doo-Ride, Dixie Doe, Jenny Texas, Gone Girl, 777, thank you. Well, now it's starting all over. Japanese Coast Guard warning ships against coming close to any fallen objects, and instead of asking them to provide related information to the Coast Guard, the launch follows similar incidents over the weekend, prompting U.S. JB to issue reassurances. So this is a current story. We are looking at it. Dex, do we have any updates on this? I don't know if there was anything new here, but this is kind of a breaking story here. and we were still trying to find out more about it.
About the launch?
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, no, this just happened this evening. I imagine we'll get more. I would think, we heard about a lot of saber rattling before and expectations that, something was about to happen, and it did. And I would assume that that's just, we're going back to the way things used to be with NK, where they were shooting off bottle rockets every day, right? So I'm that's what I'm thinking is happening here. We'll probably see. I think if it was much more specific or targeted, we would have heard by now that, it hit something specific, and I didn't hear that yet.
It seems like there's going to be enough to keep the military industrial complex pumping out money for their investors, because it seems like everything now that we have a new admin is going back to the way it was. And I bet you we're going to be popped up in the middle E with, we're going to send 8,000 soldiers, then 16,000 soldiers, and just enough to get that money pumping for research and development and black projects. And, we need this much coverage over here. We need new Navy ships. We need this. We need that. And then, of course, you're talking about everything that is happening over there is going to be kind of pushed up, and there's going to be strikes. I see in the next 3 months, there's going to be airstrikes. It's almost guaranteed somewhere in the Middle E. We already just had in the last couple days different airstrikes that just happened. And it just seems like it was like for 4 years, we had almost, we had very little of that. I don't know if you guys realize that. So no matter which side of the aisle you're on, it was kind of peaceful for a minute there. But now NK is like, they're not going to do anything about it. So they're going to continue to test. People are now, of course, going to the borders in droves, and I guess, that person in office, if they take them seriously, that's a big difference. Bones, thanks for the support. Craig Mumbo, the color I mentioned is censored. It says, catching up on old episodes the other night. While walking my dog, you were talking about EMP, and all of a sudden, the entire sky flashed green twice. Turns out a bat hit a power line. I about pooped myself, says Craig Mumbo. That's no good. There are online clothing companies, so you don't have to go into any place. But again, because I know that's embarrassing. But that is cool. I've seen a lot of crazy blue stuff because we've had a lot of our transformers blow lately. Weird stuff is going on, I'm telling you. Project Exodus, thank you. Salute to Project Exodus. Says much love from Dina Gage and Aiden. Gonna catch the replay. Thank you for stopping by, Project Exodus. Really do appreciate that. Thank you for supporting us. We are truly independent. We do not have a multi-channel network. We do not have promoters pushing us. So thank you, and thank you. Multiple destroyers. Okay, so actually, we're going to go over that here in a second. Multiple destroyers were swarmed by mysterious drones off of California over numerous nights. This is what we've been saying for 3 years. We're going to see not only more stories about drones, this is going to be the fighting forces here in a little bit. You're talking about these drones or launchable drones. This sounds like it might be monitoring, but I don't know. Are they practicing these different drone weapons? It says that a disturbing series of events during the summer of 2019 resulted in an investigation that made its way to the highest echelons of the Navy. It says in July of 2019, a truly bizarre series of events unfolded around California's Channel Islands. Over a number of days, groups of unidentified aircraft, which the U.S. Navy simply refers to as drones or UAVs, pursued the service's vessels, prompting a high-level investigation. During the evening encounters, as many as 6 aircraft were reported swarming around the ships at once. The drones were described as flying for prolonged periods in low visibility conditions and performing brazen maneuvers over the Navy warships near a sensitive military training range. It says less than 100 miles off of Los Angeles, the ensuing investigation includes elements of the Navy, Coast Guard, and of course the FBI. The incidents received major attention, including from the Chief of Naval Operations, the apex of the Navy's chain of command. It says the following is our own investigation of these events. And then, of course, now all of the stuff is coming out. So, first off, drones are going to be this espionage tool that is going to be utilized so much more that civilians are going to start seeing this. So keep that in mind when you see things in the sky, even if you're in just a regular city where you don't think you're by some base that needs to be spied on. Think about what those things in the sky are. Listen to them. Get your video out. If you think something's weird, take a video of it. It says, last year, documentary filmmaker Dave Beatty uncovered initial details about the events centering on the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, the USS Kidd. That initial account described a tense encounter culminating in the deployment of onboard intelligence teams. I like how they say the deployment of onboard intelligence teams. So they're the intelligence teams, right? I just think like they're eating lunch or they're playing cards and they're like, hey, get the smart people. Bring them on up here. Dex, like deployed. They're going from downstairs to upstairs. They're deploying them, right? And then there's like 4 or 5 intelligence officers like, that is a drone, huh? I just think it's funny that they deployed onboard intelligence teams. They told some guys that are smart to go up to the top floor and, hey, what is that? And they go, I don't know. What do you think that is? I just think that's hilarious. We were deployed. Where were you deployed? Upper deck.
I was just deployed.
Yeah, I was just deployed.
I'm deployed to the phones.
I was redeployed. Oh, you went twice? No, I was already deployed, but then they deployed me to the top floor. Well, it was the top deck, and, I looked at the thing, and it looked like a drone, and intelligence teams confirmed, like, yep, we don't know what that is. But the key point about that, when they said long flight times, that means it's not anything commercial. Anything in like a regular DJI Magic lasts half an hour. This lasted hours, apparently. Dex, do you want to? Is there a way that we can probably condense this as far as the drone situation?
Well, it's a long story. So go read it if you want to see all the details. We can't cover it all here. The interesting thing is we've heard, every day we keep hearing things about unidentified objects, right? Now, in this case, these are drones, or at least they have some resemblance of what they think are drones at the time. So having these, we just heard, I think it was Rubio yesterday saying we have things flying over our bases, right? And we don't know what they are. Well, here's an example of that where it happened to ships and they didn't know who was doing it and what was doing it. And it wasn't just a bunch of kids having fun, probably. There's probably something a little bit more sinister. Or it could have even been things that weren't drones that they just thought because they were small, right?
I don't know if you saw one of the pictures that they had on this, but it says a member of a destroyer's Snoopy team. They actually call them the Snoopy team. Hey, go get the Snoopy guys up here. Here, I just want to point this out, and this is bothering me supremely. So this is a member of one of these destroyers' intelligence teams, basically a guy with glasses. Look at the camera that he's using. That is like the video camera that your mom buys to record birthday, at Chuck E. Cheese's. You would think that there would be something a little more advanced than this SD card corny camera. You're talking about RE55 and Dub J. Something like that may be acceptable, a Nikon D900 or D1000 or whatever, because that has an optical zoom up to 1,000, so they could zoom in on their threat. They're on a Navy ship, and they pull out this. What is this? Like their video.
A handy cam.
Yeah, it's gonna say like
from like 10 years before.
It's gonna have the date in the corner, and it says recording Amy's 4th birthday. I'm just surprised. All the money that we put into it. So I bet you somewhere there is a contract signed for, $1.2 billion for video gear for the military. And then they're like, oh, we're going to get all this cool gear. and then they get like a Sony Handycam worth $90 from Alibaba Express or whatever. I just think that's crazy. Dorothy Wright, thank you so much for your support tonight. Amy Z, shout out, big shout out, thank you. Craziness. If you want to read the rest of this, though, to sum it up, again, this is more events, just like what we've been covering of unidentified objects, and there's also kind of this thing inside that says when we get this disclosure event, it's going to be China's, drones. But how does that explain the last 40 years of sightings? Who knows? And then I will hit this again. 3 taken out in abnormal ejection from a Tu-22M3 boomer at Russian airbase. It says one of the 4 crew members survived the backfire's disastrous mishap, which occurred today in western Russia. So I believe this is the plane. These are the ones that I've used these in my thumbnails before because we've talked a lot about the Tu-22s. I think
it's their bomber, right?
Yeah, and I think this is what was in Venezuela for a while. I might be wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, I believe so. I remember that.
When they deployed there, which was 30 minutes away from Florida.
Yeah, and we're chasing these off of the Alaska coast all the time too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like every week we get a story on that.
Yeah, and of course, like we say every time, we don't pay much attention to that. The Venezuela thing, that was crazy because they were 30 minutes away from Florida, and you go, Venezuela is not 30 minutes away from Florida. It is when you're going Mach 2 or Mach 4 or whatever it is they go. They're really, really fast. And then it says 3 crew have been killed in an accident today involving a Russian Aerospace Forces Tu-22 boomer at the Shaykhova Air Base in Kaluga region. It says the Russian Ministry of Defense confirmed that the crew lost their lives due to an abnormal operation of the ejection seats. Oh my gosh. So they're sitting there like, let's do a flight check. Let's do a flight check here. Yeah, we're gonna be taking off here in a minute. Just make sure to strap your seatbelts to your seat, and then I guess I shouldn't have told them to put a seatbelt on. The whole seat took them out, didn't they? The seats launched on the ground, and then I'm assuming didn't have room to land, or because they usually have, what do you call it? Parachutes, right? And it says there was insufficient height to deploy the parachutes after ejection. That is horrible. How did the 4th guy? I wonder how the 4th guy survived. So, do you think that this could have been a hack? Just saying.
And it happened right when they turned the engines on.
Sounds like sabotage.
Yeah, I mean, you got to imagine, like, the eject button is not just a button right next to start the engine, right? So, like, I'm just assuming it's not that easy to, like, I was 1 inch away and pushed the wrong button. I'm really thinking it's sort of like a really big pull handle or something that you really have to engage.
Well, so it says modern combat aircraft are typically fitted with 0-0 ejection seats, which have no minimum speed or altitude criteria for safe use. That's pretty crazy. That is such a cool system to eject, right? Like your jet's done, it's going down, and you can just eject out and parachute down to safety. I wonder if the new ones can be done from the ground and it shoots you up so far, or maybe it just is so fast that it works just instantly, even if you're 100 feet up. But gosh, I am so sorry for those poor guys, man. That would suck. And then top U.S. Admiral warns China's likely future is an invasion of Taiwan is a critical concern and closer than most think. Now, this is Senator Cotton. We've covered his statements before. This is a, I'm sorry. Yes, this is regarding this. This is Admiral Aquilino and Senator Cotton talking. So this video is available on our website, marfugelnews.com. It says that currently the commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, so this is the head guy in command here, was responding to questions from Republican Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton during his confirmation hearing before the Senate Armed Services Committee to become head of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. So huge, I guess he has got huge, what do you call it? Gosh. His, oh my gosh, what word am I looking for here? Jurisdiction. So this guy is in charge of all of it. And he's saying, why would Beijing so desire to have Taiwan annexed to the mainland? And how would it complicate your military planning if Beijing did invade and annex Taiwan? So it says they view it as their number one priority, Aquilino says, referring to China's likely future attempt to annex Taiwan. It says the rejuvenation of the Chinese Communist Party is at stake. So basically saying that they have to take it if they want to pump up everybody about it, that it's their honor, it is their goal. Everything is there. The important resources that are in Taiwan, as far as the manufacturers, everything that is going on there is absolutely important. So we are basically seeing that they're saying it has to happen, which is a bad thing for everybody. It says when Cotton asked for a recent prediction from Admiral Philip Davidson, the current head of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, that China would attempt to invade Taiwan within the next 6 years, Aquilino did not endorse that specific timeline. He said there's many numbers out there for a potential invasion timeline ranging from today to 2045. And then he said Aquilino later called for nearly $5 billion fund known as the Pacific Deterrence Initiative to be instituted in the near term and with urgency. Later on saying that it is closer than you think. So he doesn't even agree with the 6-year timeline. He's saying that this is, yeah. And it does seem like what is being said about this, Dex, I don't know if you agree, but it does seem like they are more serious, and it does seem like no matter what admin is in, they have to kind of step in here because these strategic resources are so important to the U.S. as well. It just
I agree. I mean, the flip side of that. So on one hand, yeah, totally. You got somebody who's in the know telling us there's all these timelines and it could be really soon and it's really important. Then at the same time, he's also asking for $5 billion. So he's got to sort of come in with a case for that. But take what he set aside and look at everything else we've talked about. And it all backs up what he's saying. So, on one hand, you might just say, oh, he's just showboating to get money, right? But in reality, I think the guy's really telling the truth here because we've seen so many other things that back up what he's saying. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yeah, including the other statement that he referenced, Admiral Phillips. So we're going to see it. It doesn't matter. I think it's a matter of time. I'm actually changing my own opinion on this based on what is happening and what is being said now because there is so much more evidence to say. But because at first I actually thought they could annex it and that the U.S. would do like with Crimea and not step in and not start a conflict over it or Hong Kong. Hong Kong people thought that we might start that over it. But Hong Kong was a little different. They already had a kind of a deadline of when they were going to switch back. Taiwan is a different story, I think. And if you disagree with that, please let me know what you think and let me know your opinion down in the comments below. Pretty crazy stuff. Dad and Bo's Toy Show says you do a great job and we appreciate you. What is going on? Thank you. You have a toy show. I have to check it out. And then, of course, my affiliation with Legos. Tom Walker, please keep it up. Martin Benjamin, what is going on? Thank you so much, Martin Benjamin. It's nice to see you here again. Liz LaMarche, evening fam. Thanks, Adam, Dex, and Mods for all you do. And then over on D-Live, we've got the D-Live D-Love going on. Kelly2334 came in a Ninja Guinea. Hurry, go get the smart people. Exactly. Go get the smart people. Hey, man, there's something flying up there. Will you go grab the smart people? Yeah, you got to see the big glasses, not the little glasses. Little glasses, those guys are engineers. The big glasses are smart people. Grab the smart people. Make sure you're wearing, like, clothes. Because the stupid people down there just run around like dummies, Get the smart people. And Act 21, thank you for following. Always nice to have new people around. And then Kelly2334, JD, Jenny, thank you for following. Lots of new followers tonight's show. Crass Formato over on D Live. Grim Truth 32, how are you doing? Nelly 14, Edgy Whalen, Mary XXX. Let's see here. Ed and Gem is here. Hannah 85, thank you. Jump Master, thank you so much. And Respiratory Jamie. I said that right. 30 minutes to live. Pray for all souls. Probably crying. 30 minutes to live. Oh, probably crying. Yes. As far as if you were to find out that you had 30 minutes to live, that would be nuts. All right, we're going to get our next caller lined up. This one is going to be a doozy. I don't know what it is, but let me see what it is. Oh, I guess it is going to be a doozy. CERN, former military, CERN, and the connection to ancient city of Babylon and the Eye War. And, of course, that's the Nordstrom Eye rack. Okay. And if you want to help us and support us, again, like I said earlier, today's show is brought to you by NordVPN. Make sure to go check it out, marfugelnews.com/VPN. All right, you are live on Marfugel News. Mike, what is going on?
Oh, not much. How you doing, man?
How are you doing, Mike? So, are you former military? Is that correct?
Yes, United States Navy.
And well, thank you for your service, sir. And let's see what's going on today.
Okay. Well, when I heard you, I've been following you since the very first broadcast. By the way, back in the '80s, late '80s, they built the Super Hadron Collider down in Waco, Texas. You remember that?
Yep.
Well, you're probably too young for that.
Well, no, I've covered it. I've covered all of the history of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and the second go around, with the one in Waco, they could never get to work right because they couldn't figure out what they were doing wrong. Okay. So, in the second go around with Baby Bush in that, Ryak area, what a lot of people don't know is that Baby Bush was just about as crazy as, old Adolf over there with old ancient technologies and stuff like that from biblical times. And when we went back over to Iraq the second time, or Ryak the second time, it was not for oil. It was not for the WMDs, weapons of mass destruction, or anything like that. It's because what is buried under Babylon, under Baghdad, the ancient city of Babylon, King Nimrod's kingdom. King Nimrod was half fallen angel. He was a giant. Okay, he knew the plans, and what CERN is, it's literally a portal between dimensions, between the physical and the spiritual. And the one in Waco didn't work because they didn't have the correct plans. They had fragments of plans that they pieced together. The full plans were buried under Baghdad. When they got those, the entire operation moved from Waco to France and Switzerland. They built a large Hadron Collider. They figured out they needed more electricity and they need more powerful magnets in order to create the portholes that they needed.
So and again, I pulled up an article talking about it, about how it's the Large Hadron Collider that never was, right? So
Exactly.
that now, where did you go to find out about all this stuff? Is there something that I guess we always look for? How can we link people with kind of your theories here?
About the only thing I could tell you is I was there. This is something that's never been put out to the public before. I mean, hell, I could probably get in trouble for just fucking talking about it. Sorry for the F word.
No, keep going.
But that is literally why we went over there the second time, was for this information. They knew, because if you look it up, even old Saddam Hussein had found many of the ancient ruins of the ancient city of Babylon. And he was recreating Babylon in Baghdad.
So
go ahead.
So what is this thing? What is this thing truly for, in your opinion? You said portals.
It's a portal to basically release the demons onto Earth. All these, and if you notice, you look at when the Large Hadron Collider first cranked up over there in France and Switzerland, and you look after that, and you look at the increase in UFO activity. Okay? Then they cranked it up again where they had more power. And then all of a sudden, just UFO activity everywhere. And if you notice again, they just cranked that sucker up again and started running tests on it. And look at what we're seeing now. More and more UFO sightings again. Because those UFOs are not what people think. They're not aliens from another planet. Because if you really think about it, God, Jesus Christ, and the angels themselves are aliens to this planet. What you're seeing is not aliens.
You're saying those are demons.
They're angels. They're demons. You either have the ones that are following Satan or you have the ones that are following God.
And where are they coming from?
They
They're
use
coming
our
through the
own
portal?
minds against us. Yes, they either have their own portals to go back and forth. Man is trying to open those portals for themselves, because when the punishment for Adam and Eve's sin was mankind no longer had the sight to see into the spiritual realm anymore. We can't see heaven anymore because of that sin. But the giants could. Why did you think Nimrod knew how to build a tower to heaven? He could see heaven where the humans couldn't.
So, again, in your service in the military, this was an actual kind of thing. That this was important to the military back in the 80s.
There was one unit that was sent in to specifically look for this stuff. And they found 3 bunkers full of it.
What do you think about the new finding of, I don't know if you heard about this, but they just found new sea scrolls. Do you think that those play any kind of part into this stuff?
Most of the Dead Sea Scrolls are the books that have been hidden from mankind. Because there are parts of the Bible where the angel will tell, like Paul or whoever, or John, seal up this book, for it is not for this time, it is for the end times. Why do you think we now have the book of Jasher, the book of the giants, the books of Solomon, the book of Enoch, the books of Enoch? The books of Enoch are literally the books of the end times.
So you're saying that
and
different
other
books
they're finding
were to come out at different periods as they were needed.
Right. Just like nobody knows about the apocalypse of Peter. It's supposed to coincide with the book of Revelation. But nobody knows about it.
Well, fascinating to say the least.
But yeah, right now there are things in motion where we are moving to the end time. Everything you're talking about with the aliens and the meteorites and everything like that, you're dead on, dude. You're dead on. Nothing you're talking about is BS. I sit there and I just shake my head when I'm listening to your show. I know things that I shouldn't know. I know things that I wish I didn't know.
What do you think of Oumuamua?
You would have to refresh my memory on that.
Oumuamua was the first interstellar asteroid that looked like a cigar. And then I guess if you don't know about that,
yeah.
The other thing, Atlas was growing at crazy amounts and then just kind of blew up.
No, and the videos that you see from that were released from the United States Navy, from the USS Nimitz on the little, what were they? That the little UFOs that were going all over the place, flying around the ships and everything.
Yeah,
I was on the Nimitz when that happened. That was pretty crazy. I've seen a lot of things, man. I've done a lot of things that I'm not really that proud of. You know, once you get out of the military and you learn the truth, you're kind of like, did I really do this for my country? Did I really do this for freedom? You know, but I'm proud of my service. I wish I could go back.
I would love to keep your contact information and talk to you further. I would love to hear some of the stories, even if they're confidential. We can keep things confidential or put them out there. It doesn't matter to me. But again,
I'm as old as I am, life imprisonment doesn't sound that bad.
I'm personally fascinated. So there's some things that I wish were out. If you talk to actual military, there are some things that, a lot of our friends know, and, I just wish we could say. So.
But always remember, all those rituals, you watch those videos of the rituals that they've held at CERN and everything like that. Those are old, ancient Babylonian rituals. They have to perform those rituals before they can crank up the collider.
Mike, we have to have you call. We have to have you call back, Mike. I'm serious. Please, again, don't be a stranger. This is your first time call. Don't make it your last. And I'm sure most of the audience is in agreement with that. Mike, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. And again, thank you for sharing.
Have a good night. Everybody, God bless. If you don't know Jesus, you better get to know him soon.
Well, you have a wonderful night. Mike, great call. Thank you. Again, I saw a lot of people in the chat saying yes, truth. I saw a varying amount of, but a lot of it was all positive feedback. Again, if you'd like us to make that into a short so you can share it, let us know in the chat or in the comments down below. We usually do kind of surveys to see what we're actually going to clip. Seems like that was definitely an interesting call, to say the least. Al Luna, 3377, thank you. Gone Girl, 777, All Things Athena. Arizona, Aliens and Athena. We need to talk remote viewing, 150 years out. All Things Athena. That's a fascinating subject as well. Like I said, people say, oh, that's crazy or this is crazy. What's crazy anymore? Seriously. How can you call anything crazy at this point? Anything. There is so much. Look at the Super Collider in general. Look at how many millions of dollars they spend to make what. And by the way, if you look at the history of this and what they've said, I mean, they've admitted that they're trying to open a portal. Their old website was creepy as hell. They have the that statue of the Indian. What? Dex, do you know the statue? What is it? He said it, I think. The statue of somebody.
No, I don't remember it.
What is the statue? Athena? No. Shiva. Thank you. Who was that? Jennifer Heath. You win. Shiva, the statue of Shiva. Let me show you Shiva. In fact, the whole campus there is just so crazy. LHC Shiva. Watch. You're going to see. This is the actual statue that is at the Large Hadron Collider. In fact, here's a picture of... Look at how creepy that is. Look at this. They're sitting down like they're signing... This is like the president signing something. This looks like an executive order being signed. Doesn't it? Like this is some sort of secret group and they're signing... Look at even the things that they're using there. That's just weird. Okay? Geneva Cadoba says, I've done research on this. That was a good call. Or he's got correct information or something. It went by too fast. Starbucks is a Shiva in advertising. God of destruction. It's like, why? Why would you have that? Nick Fire, metaphor. Shiva, the goddess of war. It's just crazy. Evil symbology. Shiva is a bad god in Hindu. It's like, why would they have that? That is so creepy. Shiva orders over chaos. Absolutely crazy stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, by the way, we're going to get the next caller on here in a second. U.S.'s Navy is worried China will soon invade Taiwan. So this is just a further, just pushing it right over the edge here. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS George H.W. Bush transits the Atlantic Ocean during exercise Saxon Warrior in 2017. It's, of course, that was the picture. I don't know why. This didn't load, did it? Nope, it did not. Dex, can you sum up the 1945 article, the U.S. Navy is worried about China? This is going to slow me down if I play this without having it in our program.
Yeah, sure thing. You know, the current Pacific Fleet commander is talking about the tensions between China. And I think we talked a little bit about that with the other person that's trying to, that was in front of Congress talking about it. So this is just a fleet commander going over it and, again, reiterating. So we're seeing it. It is a cohesive message coming from the military, specifically from the Navy operations, talking about this continued threat of, China and Taiwan. And so just, you're hearing it from multiple angles, and you're hearing it from multiple angles in the military, right? And that's what we're seeing. We've seen it probably for the last 2 months now. We've seen it longer, but just from these different high-level ranking officials giving their opinion on how important this is. And that's basically what this article is talking about.
Again, this is just more proof. We'll show you over the coming days what happens if we do invade, though. Does that mean it's going to affect us here at home? Does that mean it's going to affect you in the UK? Does it mean it's going to affect you in Australia? It very might well. That's why we talk about it. So give us your opinion down in the comments below. Proctor Kidwell, what in the heck are you doing? Again, that's the second time you've done that, so I don't think it's a mistake. So really do appreciate that. Says, I am glad you came on earlier for us East Coaster. Proctor, thank you, and thank you for going above and beyond and supporting us. We are truly independent. We don't have a multi-channel network. So support like yours is appreciated. Thank you. Elon Musk announces Teslas can now be bought with Bitcoin. Not too much of a story here because you guys all know, if you watch my show, we covered him talking about this. We talked about him buying, of course, Bitcoin and kind of boosting it up, and it just went nuts, over 40,000, all of that stuff that was about a month ago. Now they say because of that, now he can actually take Bitcoin as a purchase kind of currency. So it says
kind of a smart move on his part, if you think about it. Like, there's a lot of crypto, I don't call them millionaires. There's a lot of people that got extra crypto in their pocket. They don't know how to deal with it.
But
and
Dex,
they can turn around and pick up a Tesla, right?
This is messed up, though. Check it out. If they buy it with Bitcoin, they could get they could take a huge hit. So say it's worth $40,000. They buy it with 2 Bitcoins, right? They buy an $80,000 Tesla, whatever model. Then a month later, it drops down to $3,000. Are they not returned? It says.
Well, no. I mean, if so, when you pay for it, it's then on. So yeah, the buyer is no longer has the crypto, and now Tesla has it. So it's on Tesla to either hold it or exchange it for real money, right? And most businesses typically just do an immediate exchange back to USD, back to the US dollar, so that they maintain their currency. Unless they're trying to invest or hold.
But this is what I'm saying. It says, but due to the volatility of Bitcoin, a customer could receive significantly less. So it's not like if it went down to $3,000, you're not going to get $6,000 in Bitcoin.
Well, I think if you place an order and it's not until the time you actually transact,
they're not going to give you 10 Bitcoins back if it drops a month later. Are they going to give you the exact amount of Bitcoins you gave? How does that even, or the value of the used car?
Yeah, no, I really think, what it comes down to is, like, if you're going to go buy a car, it's not until you do the transaction. So you may be looking at one price today, but then that Bitcoin price will be totally different tomorrow, right? Because it does fluctuate. I mean, we've seen it go from 45 to 60 in a matter of 30 days.
It hit 60?
It got really close. If it didn't hit it, I think it did break it.
So insane. I could have bought it at $33, and I said, "Oh, that sounds so dumb." I told the guy, I said, "That sounds really stupid." And you don't know who made it? It's $33 a Bitcoin. Okay, buddy. Pat. Okay, have a good night there, weirdo. No regrets. Anyways, Pentagon labored for more than 20 days to create mediocre anti-Russia meme. This is no joke. This is a real thing. This meme is not made by Meme Maker or anybody on Twitter. This is made with a lot of money. The Pentagon.
And if you want to see the high-res version, it's in the next tab.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
So
okay.
I'll show them this.
It's just, I can't believe somebody actually made this.
Just to show you. It's better. Dropping the comrade. Dvorub. Ex-agent. Datoduma. Lojax. Wellmess. I don't understand this. Cyber National Mission Force, United States Cyber Command. So they put money into this and 20 plus days to design this meme.
That's the problem. It's the cyber guys. It's all the geeks. They don't have creativity like this.
This is like you making a thumbnail.
Exactly. You need somebody with, like, creative passion and a little bit of comedy in their soul, right? You can't ask the computer geeks to come up with a meme. That's the problem there. But that meme is horrible. I mean, I don't even get it. Like,
but the fact that
a bear trick or treating and he's dropping his pumpkin, big deal. Like, what? Okay, what?
And then, like, I can see him around the table. Like, I bet you what they did is they said, Grab the smart guys. Let's bring in the smart guys. The one with the glasses. Yeah. And then the smart guy was like, oh, let's have a candy and have it be a comrade. It's horrible. Horrible. Just horrible. Let's get Onidas. Onidas? First time caller. Premonition about earthquake and mass destruction following an experience. Alberta, Canada. This is a caller from Alberta, Canada. Hey, am I saying this right? Onidas? How do I say it?
Onidas.
Onidas.
Yeah, you got it. Pretty good there.
What is going
Onidas.
on? Onidas. And let's hear your story.
Yeah, I haven't really told too many people, just close friends. But when I was around 17, I was on a camping trip with family, and it was late, and I went for a walk kind of out into the dirt parking area. It was in the middle of the bush in Vancouver Island. And I looked over, and I saw this shape in the dark, and it was the outline of a ship. And I just stopped and looked at that, and I saw like a beam came from it and hit me in the chest. And when I woke up, my toes were like dragging on the dirt, and under each of my arms on both sides, I was being carried, and I looked up to my left, and there was a fellow there. He's like the classic gray type. Had like he had like a black, some kind of a black clothing, but it kind of squeaked a little, like not rubber, but it was something odd like that. And when I looked up, and I saw his neck, and it was long, and it had like, I don't know how to explain it. Like it was rolly, like long and skinny with bumps, long rolly bumps that went up to his head. And he looked down at me, and I looked right into his eyes. So they kept pulling me towards the ship. I was pretty much incapacitated, and it's like I went through this barrier, and then there was all this light, and that's where the ship was. It was like they had some kind of cloaking thing so that you couldn't see it. But we went through that, and then it was very bright, and there was a being on each side of the door, and the steps had come down to the ground, and they started bringing me into the ship, and beyond that, I don't remember. I'd like to say I wish I did remember, but I don't know if I want to. But I do remember I ran back to camp afterwards, and I was crying and yelling, and I got my dad and told him what happened, and I was really upset. And I went to Dad in my tent after a while, and the next day I forgot all about it. I didn't remember anything at all. It was a year later. I was sitting with my brothers and my cousins, and we were playing cards, and my brother said, "You remember that time Onidas said he got abducted by aliens?" And that was the first time I remembered in that whole year. I just sat there like they were making a joke. And for me, it was like, oh my God, that happened,
Now, this,
yeah. Sorry, I don't know if you're cutting out, but I can't hear you.
Hold.
Are you there?
Hold. Yes, we're here.
Yeah, we're
okay,
still
good.
on air. It's good. So this happened when you said 17?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And then what happened what happened after this event? Like what is going on since this happened? I think you had told me that like this actually changed things for you, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
I started
Thank you,
having quite a lot of experiences after that. I was having visions. I was young. I had no clue about anything, and there's these three beings that seemed to become my friends that I couldn't see, and I wasn't even aware I was actually talking to somebody. I thought I was just talking to myself. They helped me a lot, steer me in a better direction than what I was headed in life. I ended up on a spiritual path. Yeah.
In your remarks to Dex, you said that you saw something, though. You saw, or I don't know if you saw.
Sure.
What was that?
Yeah. Later on, and I can't say it was alien related at all. For me, it was God. And I started having really intense visions of the future, and that was when I was about 20, 21. And it was a lot of destruction, a lot of earthquakes, a lot of people dying. I saw myself alone a lot, places like where there's just no food. And during these things, I was worried about myself. Like, how am I going to look after myself? How am I going to survive through that? And God just said, don't worry, that he's going to look after me, and just stay the path, right? Just stay the path and he'll look after me. Don't listen to what's going on around you. Just go forward. Just do what you need to do, and he will be there for me for food, whatever it is I need. And just to have that trust.
So Oneidas,
in the end of it all, sure.
No, well, quick question, and you finish that statement. You said in the end of it all, and then I'll ask you one last question.
Sure. It's basically going back to the garden is what we're doing. We came from the garden and we're going back. And the seventh day hasn't come, the seventh day of rest of God's creation. That he's creating something new, and that's what we're going into. That's what we're going to become. And it's to be in the garden of our own free will, of our own choice, that we chose to be there. So all those choices that we make going through all this that's where we want to go. That's where we want to be. And we will get there.
Now, I know there's plenty of people that are cheering on that statement. Now, where was it? Where was it in the forest in Alberta, Canada? Can I just ask, just in case we have other viewers that have had a similar experience? Do you remember where you were camping?
Sure. It was on Vancouver Island. I think it was called Gooseneck Lake, actually.
Perfect. That's all.
My family, yeah.
Just curious, because when we have an experience like that, I always try to ask if there was other people in that area that may have had a similar experience, and we have a lot of Canadian viewers. Of course, some of my favorite Fugel fam are from Canada, so I do appreciate you calling in.
Oh, just to be clear, this was like 31 years ago. So, through my life, I'm like, I don't know what all those visions were about, but, I might be on my deathbed and say, geez, I don't know. But with everything going on now, I see it's coming, and it's true. I did write a couple of books about my experience. I wrote about myself, and then I wrote like a novel, kind of like a fictional novel about what it will look like. It's called The Last Call. Hidden in Plain Sight was my first one, and the second one is The Last Call Episodes, and they're on Amazon.
I love it. I'm glad, and you don't even call in and say I'm an author or any of that. You wrote your experiences. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Oneidas, like you said, and what were those two? Last Call, and what was the other book?
The Last Call, Hidden in Plain Sight, and The Last Call Episodes.
Perfect. If you want to find Oneidas' book, sounds like that would be the place to go, and it's on Amazon. Well, thank you so much, Oneidas. Yeah. You have a great night, and thank you for calling in with your story. Always welcome here. It's your first time
thank
call.
you very much for having me.
Don't make it your last, okay? Don't be a stranger.
Okay. Thank you very much. Take care.
Have a good night. That's cool. Yeah, if you're interested more into his story, he went into full detail, I'm sure, in his book. So go check it out. Go check it out. I don't know why I just said that with a Canadian accent, but it was probably gas. But let's see here. Remember, if you're not getting notifications from us, get them from our website, marfugelnews.com. We actually send you push notifications directly to your phone, so then you know what's going on. Again, that is at marfugelnews.com. You look for that red bell or the white box that says Marfugel News would like to send you notifications. Once you do that, you instantly get that notification the second we go live. And that is actually really good to have, as far as then it's not YouTube saying it's going on at 7 and then it goes at 7:30. It's right when we press live. That's when it sends you that notification. So Dex, very crazy stuff over that. Just absolute great freaking show today. I got a couple people that I want to shout out. Dex, while I do that, will you look over at DLive at the top 5? Tim Walker, thank you, says, I'm famous now. Keep up the great work, guys, and fam love to you all. RE55, I didn't even see that. Thank you. Amy Z, thank you so much for your support. Tim Walker, again, thank you. Proctor Kidwell, another big thank you for the big support tonight. And Linda Covington says, U.S. Zumwalt Destroyer. We have Dad and Bo's Toy Shops. Thanks again. And then Tim Walker says, please make that a short regarding that the military man call. And then best show on earth, says Tim Walker. Thank you, and thank you. Good show from Tom Walker. I love it. Merry Christmas 2.0 says Jacob's Ladder was a portal. That is very interesting. I'll have to talk. I'll talk to Jacob Israel about that, because I know he based his kind of his name on that, and part of his channel is about Jacob's Ladder. Jacob is real. Ray L. Project Exodus, much love, and Dina Gage and Aiden, thank you again. Project Exodus. Dex, who do we have in the top 5 over on DLive?
In number 5, it's actually tied a whole bunch of people. So we've got all things Athena, Luna 337, Stormy Weather, Woman of Wonder, Lilitus 1212, and Empress 46 are all tied at number 5. Number 4,
wow.
Yeah, number 4 is Galt. Number 3, Gone Girl. Thank you all so much. And number 2 is Mrs. Let me see if it'll expand here and show me. It says Mrs. Jammer. Mrs. Jammer, thank you so much. And the number 1 position is Kelly2334. Thank you very much, Kelly. That's so awesome of you.
That is awesome. And thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you. And then Gone Girl 777, thank you. By the way, Craig Mumba, I looked at your comment again. It says that Green was censored on YouTube. I think it was because people kept making a certain, what was it? People kept making a comparison, and it got added to it, or somebody was saying Green Lantern or something. We'll have to look at that again. It was like somebody was like continually saying the same word over and over and over again, and it was really annoying. So I think that's what it was. Southern Boy Prepper, fantastic show tonight. Yes, I love this. Disclosure TV, called another YouTuber. We've got Southern Boy Prepper. We've got RE55. He's nearing 10,000 subscribers now. Disclosure TV. We had JWTV. If you guys haven't checked him out, JWTV. All watching the show and commenting and being a part of the community, and I love it. You guys got to check out all of these people, because they're all putting their opinions and their love out there, and it's just a real great time. Free Life Tass, Barefoot Lass, LG Gig, all of you guys, thank you for supporting our show. I don't know, I don't think we would be here if it wasn't for our loyal audience, and honestly, I'm just very blessed to be around all of you, and there's so much positivity that comes towards me in every single way. And I just really appreciate all of you. And Dex, yeah, I know you feel the same. So thank you for a great show, Dex. And we're going to, the top few people there, we're going to, of course, make a silly song of satisfaction to the world, to you, in our shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shoutro. Damn it. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to the people that matter most. You.
Everybody wanna walk the walk. Everybody wanna talk the talk. Everybody wanna walk the walk. Everybody wanna talk the talk. Everybody wanna walk the walk. Everybody wanna talk the talk. Everybody wanna walk the walk. Craig Mumbo, Posit, Exodus. How you talking about prepperness? Wanna get Discover TV and faithful prepper next to this. Hey, food life task. Hey, barefoot last. Hey, LG gig. Hey, Mr. Tall Kid. Hey, Tim Walker, Proctor Kidwell. Thank you so much, and I fell. Done it well, no test or less than hell. Everybody wanna talk the talk. Everybody wanna walk the walk. Everybody wanna talk the talk. Everybody wanna walk the walk. Wanna walk the walk. Everybody wanna talk the talk. Talk the talk. Everybody wanna walk the walk. Walk the walk. Walk the walk. Hit one bang on the dime, west side going right. White the very lucky, I see you rare. ACJ Blaze and Real Curl, gonna bring down the whole world. Got the Tim Walker, Project Kill Well, Merry Christmas and everybody well. Gotta walk on the Hill or Casper Spars. Charlie Abercrombie and everybody far away from yoga with Denise and all light. Everybody terribly, it's alright. Rip, R and the bonnet, oh Doris White. Oh, on the Lawrence Reedy in that side. Justin, Andrew, and everybody fight. Texas, Lee Werner, a Twinkie D, Gone Girl, 777 and a burner. Gotta get the phone and the picture. Bring it right back, pull up your bitches. I love Beagles and everybody bitching. All them boys over at the YouTube, head over to D Live. Let's get flew. Got the Pamela Kelly in my life. Show from daytime in my life. Juicy 420 in my life. Everybody really wanna funkify. I just wanna take a life for a ride. A life is a roller coaster. Get ya closer. Do it every day like you're never gonna supposed to. Bring it down. Big shout out to all of our mods out there. Thank you for being amazing. J Stone, WV, CJ Blaze, Rick Curl, Bones, throwing it down, Chance, April, all the good peoples, Jamma the Bammer. Kelly 2334. Never gonna ask you for more. Kelly 2334. Open up many doors. Kelly 2334. Never gonna close the door. 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 I've got the Mrs. Marv, Ken M, everybody here. Jim, everybody know fear. Cause we know everything's gonna happen. Don't get your life till you cash in. Hey, Veteran Steve, thanks for being here. Hey, Pam and Gone Girl, everybody clear. Kelly 2334. Never gonna close the door. Pirates, we've got pirates. What is up going in the house? Kelly Jensen. Henson with a J. Got the Terra beat, they talk best. Everybody says, yes, yes. Kelly 2334. Never gonna close the door. 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 Top best, everybody go. Out windy Lou, everybody gonna flow. Running with scissors, thank you for the sub. What a nice night, and to bring that up. Katie Untie Game, thank you so much. History person, thank you. It's nice to see you in the chat tonight. Luz Torres 777, what's going on? Judy Dowell, Fun Size Cam, Randy Newman, Carolyn Lowe. A special shout out to Veteran Steve and Gone Girl 777. An amazing person stopped by tonight. Susan Donahue, thank you so much. I hope you are around, or if you're watching the replay, I really do appreciate you. Never gonna close the door. Kelly 2334. Never gonna close the door. Gonna bring it back, do it again. Gotta walk down the road with that love on Chihuahua. Everybody wants go till tomorrow. Dixie Ho, veteran Steve in the sorrow that we feel when Bear Claus doesn't come to the party, and you are number one.